My people, my people, my people. We are here. I am Coach Sean. I'm with my broski. He is back in the house, as you already know. Jake Merrill, JM, is here. Coach JM is here to give you his final points of everything. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Please hit that like button on you guys weigh in, if you will. Please hit that like button on your way in. Merrill, how you feeling, bro?
I'm good. Hit those thumbs up, everybody. For Coach Sean, right? On this side, over here. I did that this morning with Ty, too, man. I was like, this side, which side, right? But, man, what's up? It's so good to be back. It's awesome to be back. Man, I'm so excited. Like, if you didn't catch it, we were able to jump on together this last Monday, right? That was legit. That was a lot of fun, man. Dang, dude, that was cool. The panel, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was legit, right? And man, I'll tell you, like, it was so fun to get on and be back into it with you guys. You know, you, Coach Jay, Nino Sports, Nino's Corner Sports, I think it is.
Yeah.
With Nick Battle, I mean, that was cool. Hayes Fawcett, and then obviously getting back in with Ty. I mean, it's been coming, right? Like we've been meaning to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, bro.
So we've been meaning to do it. So,
it was great, man. It was great to have you on. When Ty told me he was coming, we was like, bet, it's on. Right? Shout out to Hayes. Shout out to Nino. Yeah. Let's see what we got in here, Jake. Shout out to, let's say Ron Self. Roll Tide to you, Ron Self. How you doing, man? See Bama's in here with us, Jake. Much love to see Bama. Facts. Sweet Home Bama 24 is in here. Shout out to you, Sweet Home Bama 24.
How you this morning, my dog?
Yeah, he back in here again. I love that, man.
Always, man.
Here. Mickey Pate is in here with us, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nicole Covington is always in here.
Nicole.
Shout out to her, man. Love her to death, man. Roll Tide Patty is in here. Roll Tide, what's up with you, Patty? How you doing?
Yeah.
Crazy Knight is in here with us, right?
I love that, man. Hey, it looks like you got to turn green, brother. Come subscribe.
I know, right? Big
Come
L.
Become a fan funder.
I know, right? Double L. Larry Large is in here with us, man. What's up, Larry?
Dog, man. I love that dude, man. Larry,
love him, man. He always tap in. Love him, man. Brandon Schlesinger is in here. What's up, Brandon? How you doing, man?
What's up, Brandon? You too, man. You gotta subscribe. Hey, if your name's not green, I'm gonna tell you. Come subscribe and check us out. We're gonna start rolling in the evenings. We're gonna start rolling in the mornings. Mm-hmm. I'm back, and we're gonna roll it up. All the coaches, we're gonna roll it up. We're gonna have a fun time. I'm telling you what, man. We are. We're gonna as it rolls on, even in the off season. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun because there's gonna be a lot to talk about. But man, keep giving those shout outs, Coach Sean. I know you're doing
man. Juan Rogers is in here. What's up, Ron? Carla Hinton is in here. Carla, love when you in here. Shout out to you. And again, the brother Bray Goofball just popped up in here. What's up, Goofball? Ooh. Yeah, please hit that like button if you guys can for us to run these numbers up. Really, really appreciate you guys tapping in, man. We won't worry you long, but we're gonna cover a few things tonight. Wanted to get my brother Merrill's thoughts on a couple of these things. And it's very, very, very important. Starting off with Merrill, did you check out that we playing Wisconsin at 11? What's your thoughts on that 11 o'clock game, just like that Texas game a few years ago?
100. You know, it's funny you bring that up. And Jimmy, I see you. I see you back too, my friend. I see you back too, Jimmy Lee Baker. Nah, Jimmy was in this morning, man. We had some good chats this morning with Ty. Me and Ty were having some fun. But man, we're gonna do it again tonight. So but no, to go to that 11, it's funny you bring that up because I actually referenced that. I think it was me and Ty talking about it. Mm-hmm. Or it was me and Kyle, one of the two, right? And we were chit-chatting about this because I was like, man, from a player perspective or previous player perspective, and coach, you should give your or this side over here. I got to get used to the
I think it's no
other way. Other.
Okay, it's backwards. It's backwards. It's crazy.
Oh, dude, it's so weird, man. Looking at yourself and trying to point which way is which.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
But dude, I'll tell you, man. Hey, James, what's up, dog? I see you in here, James.
Man.
James.
Well,
So, hey, Carla Hinton, I see you up there, Carla. What's up, Carla? Woo, woo. But no, to go back to your point, and I actually brought it up with Ty because I said, hey, Coach Sean and Coach Jay had brought up this topic after our panel last Monday evening. If you haven't checked out that panel, do it. It's Around the Table Sports. That Ty Hayes, our brother, our dog, that's his channel. Yeah, we had a good round table at Round the Table Sports. I think we're doing it again this Monday, so you guys come check us out, all of us. It's a lot of good times. And of course, Coach Sean's channel too.
Yeah, man, just getting it started. Mara, I gotta put in these. They say I gotta go some hours or something before I can go live, right? But we can record a video together though. We can record the video together, like
I'm
the
down.
StreamYard we got now,
man.
Yeah,
anytime.
Just like it's a StreamYard, just like it is now. And I just hit record, man, and we'll just go in. I'm probably gonna record another one on Thursday.
Well, let me know, man. I'll come in with you. Okay. We can chop it up whenever you want, man. You know me, Coach. I love you, man. You know what's funny is I always talk about the voice. There's a voice. There's a certain voice, right? You know, that everybody gets to know, and that's Coach Sean's voice.
Hey, man.
So I'm getting it down now. I'm getting down that left hand now.
When they said my bros is coming back, Merrill, man, myself, Coach Jay, you know what I'm saying? Even Coach Mook, everybody was happy for it, man. Everybody was happy.
I appreciate that.
So we really enjoyed it, man. Shout out to Patriot Life. Patriot Life, my broski from another You know, I had a chance to kick it with Patriot Life at A-Day, man. We kicked it. Check us out on Twitter, man. All the pictures should be still up there, man.
Man, I was so bummed. Guys,
Did they tell you they was asking for you?
No, I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Bro, listen.
I know.
Coach Mook and them would tell you, bro. They was asking about all y'all. They was asking about Jay. They was asking about Merrill. They was asking about Ty. They was asking about everybody, man. And so it was overwhelming, man. It was such a good time. Me and Patriot Life and my daughter, when we kicked it, bro. We had a great time, awesome. Man. Yeah, man, we had a great time, brother. You know what I mean? I can't complain, man.
I will get there. This season, you guys will see me. For sure, we will meet in person. We can do whatever you all want to do. Coach Sean, obviously, you know, whether you want to go to the game, whatever you want to do, man, we can hang.
Kick it, man. Yes.
But I'm going to be there, man. Like you guys, I'm going to meet everybody. Let me know when everyone's rolling to which games. I'll roll down there and I'll see everybody. I just have, you know, sometimes you got family stuff that comes up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Shit. And kids, man, rough. Like I love being a dad. We'll get, you know, I look, I could go off on this topic for like hours, but let me answer your question because I know you asked me a question about that 11 o'clock. let me answer your question real quick, or else we're going to go off on side subjects all night. We'll get into it, but the 11 o'clock game as a player, I don't like it. Thanks. And here's why. Maybe in middle school, right, when you're playing like youth league because you're playing like mornings.
Yeah. That's perfect time, man. Yeah.
Great, but I'm gonna tell you what, man. Like once you start playing like Friday nights, like in high school, right, and then you go to college and you get to play either your late afternoon, evening games. I prefer those over an afternoon game from the standpoint that number one, for the fans, like as you go from player to fan, right, you get to really experience what it's like to do the fan stuff, and it's so fun. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what, I almost love it just as much as going just to be a fan and watching the game. Just because it's so fun to get out there with other people and enjoy it and just have a good old time. You know what I mean? And for me, at least, that's how I see it. That's how I've always viewed it. I don't like the 11 o'clock. I think it plays off. Not to mention we're traveling to Wisconsin. That's another BS. I think it's just, I don't know, man. I don't understand how it's like they play that game like it's not important. Right. But it's very important. And that's why I don't like it. You know? Right. So
I mean, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, Merrill. That 11 o'clock game, man. What's up, Kimberly? Roll Tide to Kimberly. Roll Tide to Mimi S.
What's up? What's up?
And look, had a chance to meet Bama fan 95, man.
Oh, really?
Death, man. Yeah, man. Guys were awesome, cool, man. Just awesome, man. Love them. Kimberly, love you and Mimi, man. You guys are great. Thank you for tapping in with us. My brother Patriot Life as usual. But me, Merrill, man, I'm the same, brother. That 11
Yeah.
o'clock game, when I was playing, when I was in
Yeah.
college, I used to love the 2:30 or 3 o'clock game
Oh,
because
perfect.
you didn't have to wait long. You know, when you
Nope.
play late, like 6, you be all day, you in the hotel, like,
Oh,
damn,
you're so
man.
mad.
You
You're
trying to
so
find something to do. You know, y'all had a team lunch and all that. And it's
and
just
not
like,
trying to like mess with your
yeah,
head.
not mess
Oh,
with
dude.
your head.
You can
Yeah,
only do
man.
so much psychological talking.
Yep. And that game just took forever to get here, man. But the 2:30, 3
Yeah.
o'clock, 3:30, man, they were perfect. They were perfect, man. The game be over. You still got time to go out with your friends if you feel up to it. But that 11 o'clock game, I personally believe in my heart that away teams do that to Alabama to gain an advantage because it inconveniences the road team so damn
100.
bad. It
100%.
inconveniences the road team so bad, right, Merrill?
It does. I mean, in the end of the day, especially when you got to travel and play early, because I mean, granted, it's not a large distance, thank God. At least they're not traveling somewhere, I don't know, further away, I should say, just
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're still traveling, and when you're not sleeping in your own bed, granted, I've always been one of those people, man, that I'm good. I'm a good hotel sleeper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for me, dude, I don't know what it is. As long as we're in a nice hotel, if we're in a junk hotel, then heck no, dude.
That's tough.
That is tough, man. But if I'm in a nice, decent, like nice hotel, you know, like I'm a good Holiday Inn guy. To me, those are pretty nice for the most part, right? And I'm good. I can sleep like a rock, especially if I turn the temperature down. I'm not a hot sleeper, man. Like I gotta sleep in the cold, dude.
Yeah, gotta be a little chilly in there, man.
I know people who sleep like 78, 80 degrees. There's no freaking way.
No, absolutely. I don't even like cover touching me too much in the summertime,
Oh no, man. Yeah, I'm light. I'm a thin guy. I'm a thin guy. Thin sheets.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need a pillow that goes up over my face. I just need a nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do, man. Shout out to Kimberly Herman. Kimberly says, Coach Sean, do you think your team, the Steelers, gonna beat my team? I don't know, Kimberly. Y'all got Derrick Henry, man. So that's always bad for opponents. I hope we do, but right now, adding Derrick Henry to that team, bad for everybody else. Bad for everybody else. Let me ask you this, man.
Yo,
first game, Western Kentucky, 6 o'clock, 6:30. I think 6 o'clock. How you feeling about that one?
So I like it. I think it's a good matchup. I think it's funny that we schedule Western Kentucky and then we take Brian Ellis, the tight ends coach from Western Kentucky. It's kind of it's ironic, right? We have to be careful. It's one of those games, like South Florida last year.
Yeah,
it's an early game. Western Kentucky's not a bad team. They do have a lot of skill. Their offense has been studly, and again, that's a lot thanks to Brian Ellis and what he did. Now he's over. Which again, funny, right? That Brian Ellis comes over to Alabama. Same with Colin Hitchler, and we play two of the teams that we just grabbed some of their top coaches from. Yeah. So we'll have kind of that inside scoop with Brian, and Brian is a phenomenal offensive mind. So I think it will feel good about attacking their defense offensively. I think their offense is obviously what they did. Western Kentucky, they looked good. Again, I give a lot of credit to Brian Ellis and what he was doing. That has a lot to do with him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's the reason they put up record numbers. Okay.
That's a fact.
But yeah, it's a 1-0 game. I'm not going to doubt that, right? I do feel good about Alabama playing Western Kentucky. It's a great opening game. It tests us here and there, but it's not like, man, who was the team? I just read this, Coach. Someone scheduled, was it North or South Dakota?
I think it's Colorado.
It is Colorado. And that's
a dangerous game.
South Dakota State, right? University?
I think it's North Dakota State. Is it not
North Dakota State? The
Buffaloes? I thought it was North Dakota State. Either one of them is a dangerous game.
Oh my God! I can't remember which. It might be right. You're right. It's not. I think it is North Dakota State.
Yeah.
That game, number one. Like, you think that's a walk through FCS game? Hell no. Dude, I don't know what
Facts.
Colorado was thinking.
Yeah,
Hopefully, granted, I'll be honest with you guys. I want to see Dion succeed.
yeah,
To be honest, I love his philosophy. I love his thought process. I've read his book. His book is phenomenal, man. His book was great, Deion Sanders' book. So I do want to see him succeed. Granted, could there have been some things here and there that could have gone better for them in the way they went about maybe the talk and social media in this offseason?
Yes.
Yeah, probably could have approached it a little more professional. But at the same time, man, like I whoever's doing the scheduling for the games, I read that article. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe they just scheduled a team that, and this is like a no joke team.
That's a fact.
The Bisons. That's right. Thanks, Steve. Good to see you in here, Steve. I saw you this morning too, man. What's up?
What's up?
Yeah, man. Woo.
Yeah, that's a dangerous game, Jake. That's a dangerous game. I know a lot of Power 5 schools who are successful that don't want to, that, we'll play them, but we're not just going to schedule them just because, you know what I mean? Yeah. That game is Colorado better be about their business, that game, man. They better be about their business because
that's right, man. Hey, you know what? They're trying to say, hey guys, we're here. We're trying to come out here and get that test early. It's like Georgia and Texas.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like, that's kind of wild, man.
I promise you, bro. I'm picking it right now. I'm picking Texas to beat them, bro.
Me too. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't think it's like by just a little. I think Texas shows up.
Yeah, Texas. Listen, man. What Steve Sarkisian told a story to where when he first got to Texas, he had about 7 to 8 really Power 5 linemen that could compete. Right now, he has like 16, 17 offensive, defensive linemen that can compete at the Power 5 level. So that roster has been flipped for Texas. He's got an SEC roster. They have talent on that roster. They're deep. Their linebackers are awesome. Their wide receivers are awesome. Their offensive line may be the best in the country with Kelvin Banks. Man, listen, Texas is going to be a problem. Texas is going to be, and Sark can call the hell out of offensive plays, man.
He can.
They're going to be a problem, man. What's up, Stephen Angle? Let me ask you this, Miro. I noticed the college football playoff national championship is going to be in Vegas in 2027. It's going to be in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami in 2026. And this year, I didn't realize that the national championship game was in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
really?
The Orange Bowl as one semifinal, and Arlington, Texas Cotton Bowl was one semifinal. Man, that fits us like a glove, and we can get to that.
Well, and that's the thing, man, is we've heard so much on this off season already about the teams that are going to be competitive, especially now with a 12-team playoff. Now, there's not another coach I would rather have than Kalen DeBoer in a 12-team playoff. No matter where we end up in that playoff, we will end up in the playoffs. That's no doubt about that. Yeah. And I don't know if there's truthfully a whole lot of doubt as far as getting into, winning the overall SEC. I know there's some, just because you do have the competition, and we've listed it off, and we talked about this on that around the table talk we had at Ties. But you do. I mean, coming out, you're going to rank Georgia first just because of what they do return. You're going to rank Texas second due to the fact of what they do return and depth. Granted, I think there's a lot of question marks still, though, especially defensively, right? And then, at that time when we were talking on the show, I had said, well, I'd keep Bama at 5 just because 5 or 4, I can't remember what it was, but just because you have potentially like Missouri right there, and then other people had LSU here and there. I think LSU has a lot of question marks. I think their defensive line the depth there is really scary as of right now because of the transfer portal. LSU is looking at starting potentially a couple of freshmen at defensive line. That's going to be, they'll have a good offensive line, but man, what's up, Javion? How you doing, man? What's
JVN.
up? But
what's up, bro?
Just based on, because I've been playing a little bit of catch up, right? So, which has been somewhat nice to play catch up and like take down some facts, some notes, and look at how the team is feeling after spring ball, and listening to all the different interviews, podcasts, reading the articles from 247, Bama Online, Thon 3, Tide Illustrated, right? Even with Rivals, I forgot what Rivals is. Which one's theirs is called? Which one's Rivals called? Let me take a peek here, guys. One second. Rivals is that's Tide Illustrated. My bad. Sorry, I always think associated with Sports Illustrated. But right. So I've been reading everything and playing a little catch up as far as getting this info and getting a little more in depth. And what I'm reading, what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, man, I feel like Alabama is poised to have this, just because there's so much doubt cast with Saban gone. I feel like Alabama's so poised to have such a strong season, even with the schedule that they have, right? There are some question mark games, but then there's also a lot of games in there that are going to be difficult for their opponents to match up with them. And then you just have this mindset there right now with the players and who's in the locker room, and to the guys who left, I do feel like there's a lot of guys who wish they wouldn't have left.
Yeah.
Like early on, when he came. So I don't think I think they wish they still would be there. But the guys who left, we wish them the best. But I feel like even with our roster, there's question marks at cornerback, no doubt. But what they brought in with Deshaun, right, Jones, I love that. And I do think as we go through fall ball and those freshmen get tested, because they'll get tested in practice, right? They're going to get the experience they need. I mean, shoot, just watching the plays from A-Day, it's not like they're necessarily not in position. They're a step or two off. I think there's a lot of criticism from that. You know what I'm saying? From our young cornerbacks, our secondary, and you guys have to remember, the secondary takes a minute to jive.
Exactly.
The secondary has to still play as one. It's like an offensive line type of unit. The secondary has to learn how to jive within each other and work together. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I just feel like the offense is going to be very. I will put it on right now. I think the offensive line is going to be a Joe Moore at the minimum, a Joe Moore semifinalist.
Yeah,
that's I'm saying that right now.
Shout out to Adam Lamparillo. Adam Lamparillo, what's up with you, bro? How you feeling,
what's
man?
Up, Adam?
I did a breakdown on my channel of their offense, pretty much of their receivers and their offensive line of Washington. If you need it, Merrill, Ty gave us all 22 personnel tape of Washington, and I got to really, really dive in and really watch. Man, listen, Kalen DeBoer is so different than what we did last year, bro. Listen, they run so many pin and pulls and counter plays with their offensive line. It's unreal. Like, it was so bro. Look, they even run trap with their center, bro. So that is completely different than we did. They threw 73 screens last year. Well, I think I went back and checked. We threw 4. You know what I'm saying? And I don't remember what game that was when we threw those 4. Right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be totally different, bro. Totally different. And I think this type of offense is when Alabama was at its best. When we had a lot of vertical stretches, when we had a lot of pin and pull and a lot of horizontal stretches and vertical stretches and just really, really, really putting stress on the defense. We were at our best, man. That's when we had Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, and Henry Ruggs. We had these guys and really could put stress on the defense, bro. So I'm excited to have an opportunity to accentuate all of our weapons. All of our weapons, man. I get excited about that.
No, 100, man. 100. I think you got a little delay there, Coach. Oh, you're good. You're good. You're back.
Yeah, man. It's doing that little. I don't know what be wrong with this internet, man. It's so good. Fiber.
It's the solar. It's the solar blow ups that are going on. I don't know, man. I did hear about that though. There's a lot of stuff going on with the internet. My internet was actually good too, man. But
crazy.
You are spot on, and I think that's what's exciting is that we get to see the ball get into the players' hands a lot faster, into our playmakers' hands a lot faster, and Adam, I do see your comment up here. You're curious why I think the offense in the line, especially, will be so much better. Well, number one, look who you're bringing in for a coach. Look what he's done everywhere he's gone from an offensive standpoint. And Coach Sean, you just said it. Yeah. You got to break down that film, and you really got to see, like, in depth of how to utilize their talent. These guys are really good at identifying talent. That's why we're seeing the recruiting being the way it is as well. And I'll just segue real quick into this and then jump back in to what we were talking about. But the recruiting they are not just recruiting anybody. They're recruiting the guys who fit for their systems, right? For what they want. And the guys that also have the mentality of what they want, right? But you get the right guys into the right system, then you start to see, Tom Brady, you put him in a different system. Is Tom Brady Tom Brady?
Right.
Think about that, right? Like, is Tom Brady, does he, what is he, 7? Does he have 7 Super Bowls? Is it 6 or 7? I can't remember.
I can't remember so many.
But think about that. I mean, truly though, it's the system is real. In making sure you have the right players for that system. Yes, 6. Thanks, Adam. So to go back to your question, Adam, with this thing regarding the offensive line, here's what you get in the offensive line. Okay, you get Keaton Proctor, who's now back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, MJ, thanks, brother. It is 7, right? Okay, so you get Keaton Proctor, who's now back, familiar starter, right? He, from what we've heard, he's lost weight. He's in getting in great shape. His mindset's right. Perfect. Okay, we're good there. Okay, now you have Tyler Booker. Alone, don't got to say a whole lot about him. He speaks for himself, right? Just go watch what he has to say and his mindset. I mean, I'm going to be honest, his interview with Bussin' with the Boys, phenomenal. Okay, then you got Jaden Roberts, and he just had an interview come out a few days ago to another one. Jaden Roberts, right, the other guard. What's beautiful is, and everyone's like, well, what about our other tackle position? You know what's awesome is the best part about it is you're returning 3 starters, technically 4, because now you have Parker Brailsford at center. Yeah. And it sounds like from Parker's standpoint that what we ran into there, okay, was that it was just a credit issue. I thought maybe it might be a personal thing. Maybe he just had a lot going on. But this sounds like it was a credit issue, and that makes a lot of sense. The reason is because University of Washington's on quarter system. University of Alabama is on a semester system.
Facts.
So there was a little bit of hinge up in a credit here or there that they were able to get fixed. Not a problem. Life is good. Parker's going to be that starter. You have the right guy communicating at center, and everybody is locked in. This group is so pissed off from all the negativity they got, okay? Because offensive line at Alabama, it's been a very touted position for so long. Interior, center, tackle, just because of all the All-Americans you've had. So you look at just what you're bringing in from 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have a question mark on the other end at tackle. Do we think it's going to be a question mark going into the season? Hell no. The reason is if you think those 4 are going to let one guy screw up, they have a weak link in the chain, not happening. Those guys are so focused, so dedicated right now. That is my belief, and that's why I think you're going to see these dudes be competitive, and that's why I do think they're going to be talked about for a Joe Moore Award.
Facts, bro. I couldn't have said it no better. That's a whole fact. Before I get to Larry Larges, let me chime in on that, Adam. What Jake broke down to you is exactly what I said on the video. Exactly. And I believe it. I believe it in my heart. I watched a lot of Caden. When Caden had to slide last year, he did fine. It's when you ask him to block one-on-one and his foot got stuck in the mud. He always got beat on his outside shoulder, of course. He never got beat a lot on the inside, right? Yeah. I think Caden is going to be just fine in this scheme. You get that big rascal pulling backside. You know what I mean? Man, okay. We saw Jaden Roberts pull in the Michigan game. He can pull. He can pull
for
and
sure.
pin. Yeah, Tyler Booker's agile. Listen, man, we know Parker Belford can. And what I like about this offensive line won't be asked to block for 7 seconds like they was asking Jalen Miro to do last year.
100%.
This is a very quick, get out the ball out of his hands, quick offense, right? So the line won't be, they won't be asked to hold up for a very long time. So I have a lot of respect for what he does on offense, and I just can't wait for it.
Well, and that's a coach. Real quick, real quick. That's a heck of a point, because if you watch Penix, besides some of the deep shots they took, and those calls were very specific to one-on-one matchups, and when they knew they could potentially beat their coverage, right? But if you look at Penix, go through the counts of how long he's holding onto the ball. It's not long. Okay, for most games, right? There are some games where that's maybe the case, but again, that could a lot be on the play calling and what Grubb wanted to do. Grubb is a different style of play caller than Sheridan. You watch Sheridan, and when Penix was having a lot of success at Indiana, well, guess who's calling those plays? That's Nick Sheridan, everybody.
Yep.
When Penix is being talked about already at Indiana before he gets injured twice, that is Nick Sheridan calling those plays. That's impressive. So I think you're right. Like they will have that chance to hit their block, do it exactly how they're supposed to, whether it's a pin and pull, whether you're stand-up pass blocking and blocking as one single chain, right? That ball gets out, and then you're moving to your second level. You're going to see these guys moving, and it just, from what I've heard, man, and what I keep hearing, is that these guys, from the workouts that they did, from the time they spent in the weight room, already they were strong, they were big, they were phenomenal athletes, but it sounds like they're going to be on a whole nother level. They have to prove a lot of people wrong.
That's a whole fact, man. Great question, Adam. Larry Large says, did you guys see Clay Travis' prediction that Tennessee beating Alabama by double digits this season? You got to remember, Larry, that Clay Travis dude, he sort of, these guys say stuff like that for clicks. They don't even believe it. They say stuff like that because they know everybody's going to be like, what? And go see what he said. And you got a ton of views. A lot of these columnists are not really columnists or analysts. They're just propaganda dudes. They like saying whatever is going to rile everybody up, piss everybody off. You will go to their channel and see what they said and leave 1,000 comments. He don't believe that. Right, Larry?
Nah, man.
He don't believe it. Clay Travis is smarter than he gives credit for. He really is. These people want a reaction. They want a reaction, Larry. So that's what it was. Don't even give it to him, right? Because the football season, the ball don't lie. What's up, Run the Table Sports? My boy Bear right there. What's up, Bear? How you doing,
What's
man?
What's going on, man?
Roll Tide to you. Rocket Town asked Jake, he says, how do you guys see the Michigan State O-lineman Gino, I forgot his last name, being utilized? I believe he's a guard, but I think he's going to play center here. I think he's not going to play guard because it wouldn't make sense to play guard right now. We have two great guards. Now he may provide some depth at guard if we need that, but I think he's going to play center. From what I'm reading, I think he's going to play center at Alabama. He'll provide that depth, and we definitely need some extra depth at that center position. And what do you think about that, Miro?
Yeah, no, 100%. I to be honest with you, the way Coach Cap works, and this, you can go and look at Coach Cap, whether it's Michigan State, whether it's North Carolina, all the way to high school. He cross trains everybody, man. And this guy Gino. He's already played for Coach Cap. He understands his coaching style. He understands the system. Coach Cap, and what's beautiful is Coach DeBoer highlighted this in one of his interviews. Is he's like, Coach Cap is very familiar with the style of blocking that we're looking to do and the style of play. He goes, these guys are going to be so in tune, and that's where my confidence lies. Is when you bring a coach over. You know, we talk about. It's funny because, Adam, I know you brought this question up earlier today. Adam brought up a very controversial question earlier today between me and Ty that lit Ty on fire for a minute there, and it was a good one. Hey, man, I thought it was good. It was decent. Adam brought up the fact of like he felt it was more a laid-back style at Alabama now with them playing music at practice. not this like militaristic mindset. That Saban had, because Saban chew your ass, man. Like, you know, I love the quote of like "kiss my ass." You know, with Saban, you know, it was gonna be a bad day when he said "kiss my ass" early on before practice or something. You know, so that made me laugh, right? Because that's good, and that's how my high school coach was, man. Shoot the hell out of you, right?
My college coach is like that,
dude. My college coach mine would just stare you down, and be like, really. That's the shit you learned at the high school you came from? Okay.
Mine was crazy.
All right, you John Lynch looking motherfucker.
My coach was crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. Good times. But I'll say this is what's beautiful about Coach DeBoer, right? And his style. Because look, he's himself. That authenticity, people respect authentic, right? They respect when you're real. Okay. What you get with me and Sean right now is real. This is not, we don't have a script that we go by. No one goes and studies for us.
It's a fact.
Right? We look at everything we want to look at and then we talk about it. Everything's real. And what's beautiful about Coach DeBoer is he's real. That's why he is perfect for Alabama's program, number one. He's a winner, number two. So his philosophy works. And he's not trying to go in and be anything different than who he is. If he was to go in and try to make this crazy mindset, that's already established. This standard, you guys have to remember, Saban, look at how long he was there. This is built into Alabama. It's expected now. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be a high schooler coming into college, or you could be in the program for a couple of years. The standard's already there. Nothing changes. But what I will say, what's beautiful is what DeBoer brought in around him, because you're only good as the people you have around you, right? Whether
and the kids love him.
But 100%, and that love is huge. So you think about that, Coach, right? I personally think his style of, like, he's more of a coach, a head coach. You could, if you had a problem, something was going on, you could go to. I think his position coaches are the ass chewers. They're the ones who are like, get after it now. Do not make this mistake, right?
For me,
that's beautiful.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jake. I'm sorry. My bad.
You're good. You're good. Keep going, Coach.
For me, brother, Adam, I think you are right now what a lot of people are. You have been Sabanized. So what I mean by that is you have had this way of, you have had it this way for so long, it's hard to accept another way. And I get it, bro. But I coached high school ball for 6 years, man. 2 different high schools, you know, running backs coach, you know what I mean, offensive assistant. Let me tell you this. I attended VTO camps. I just went to the camp last year in Atlanta, Nike. So let me tell you this, Adam. Listen to me on this. Coach Saban is the greatest of all time, right? To me, he's the best college coach to ever, you know,
100.
Ever lace him up in this sport, right? And if you want to be overall, I think he's one of the overall best coaches to ever do it, right? But what I will say is Coach Saban style don't work in 2024. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the kids, Alabama has not gotten the top D linemen like we used to get. And it's not because of Coach Saban's style. What I'm saying is kids will tell you this if you talk to them. I talked to a couple of kids. Matter of fact, 2 of the kids that I talked to, one of them went to Auburn. I ain't gonna use their name because I'm cool with their parents. One of them went to Auburn and one of them went to Florida State right now. Both of these kids, Clemson. I'm sorry. One of them went to Auburn, one of them went to Clemson. Both of them from this state. And the kids will tell you, they'll tell you, bro, they they make fun of Alabama playing Thunderstruck. Man, they playing that old ass Thunderstruck. They don't even know who sing. They don't even know who, like, these kids in 2024 are different, man. They're not like the kids of old that you remember, the make them quit type thing. They laugh at stuff like think that's corny. Like they'll tell you they think that's the most corny. These kids are different, brother. And when I mean different, I don't mean talent wise. They're still just as talented, but the mentality is not that of the early 2000s or even the mid 2000s or even 2018 type kids. These kids are all about social media, graphics. They give a damn about that. They want the bells, they want the whistles, they want to take pictures in the clothes, they want to put that on their social media, they want to be wined and dined. These kids are different. So when you hear music at practice, take it from me when I tell you teams have been playing music at practice for 20 years, Adam, since the early 2000s. That's nothing new. Alabama was just one of the few that didn't do it, right? Georgia played music at practice, and I think they've had great success. They've won 2 of the last 3 national championships, right? Washington played it. Music is what these kids live by nowadays, right? Mm-hmm. Music, if we lose a game, I assure you it ain't gonna be because of the music, right?
Oh, 100%.
You have to understand times change. Coach Saban is smart enough to realize that. The NIL stuff and the things that's happening outside of football was a big deal. But Coach Saban realized, man, I'm 72 years old, bro. Like, you have nothing in common with these kids outside the fact that you're Nick Saban. A lot of times, let me say this real quick. A lot of times Coach Saban didn't out-recruit Kirby, did not recruit. The other schools out-recruited him. Kids just chose to play for Nick. It's Nick Saban. The name, right? It's Coach Saban. Look what they do with Alabama. So please trust me when I tell you this, man. I'm around these kids, right? They still call me Coach Sean to this day. These kids are different, brother. It's a different time. It's a social. Listen, Courtney Morgan said it best on his interview. Morgan said, listen to what he said on his interview, man. Yeah. They got an entire personnel department for player personnel and a whole other department for recruiting personnel. I got people that just do graphics. They just do everything. It's totally different, brother. This is a totally different landscape, right? So Coach DeBoer fits what we need.
Oh, 100%. Real quick, I see this in here real quick. I got to shout out. Ebony, I know I haven't seen you in a minute. Ebony, I'm so sorry I missed you A-Day. We're supposed to connect and chat with Noah. We'll do that. 100%. Yes. We will do that. I got to get so my Twitter had this disaster with Twitter. So I had to go through contact Twitter. I think it got hacked or something, but so I have to get back on. So the next few days, you guys will catch me. I'll get back on. Come follow me, and I'll let you know when I do that. And I'm back. Yeah. I'm back.
Shout out to Rhonda.
Come check it out, man. Yo, Rhonda, what's up, Rhonda? How you doing? Man, I love seeing everybody in here, man. This is so great. Yeah, we back on.
Speak to that, Jake, about these athletes of the day.
Yeah, that's a great 100. Like, Coach, you made a really good point. And let's also bring up this too, so everybody knows. Kids today are maturing way faster due to social media and everything that they see. Okay. So because of that maturity, Nick Saban had a hard time in the NFL. You want to know why? Because when you went to the NFL, you cannot do the same things you do in college with building young men. You have a lot more, I hate to say it, you have a lot more ego there, and it's harder to hold accountability, right?
Yes.
So Saban today holding accountability, the reason he was able to continue to be as successful as he was going into these final years for Saban, I will say is that it was Nick Saban, and there's a lot of respect there, and which is well-deserved, okay? 100% well-deserved. I love Nick Saban. I read everything on Nick Saban. I watch everything on Nick Saban. You know, Bama, I wish Nick Saban was there, and I would have been, y'all would have had me playing safety at Alabama. Okay,
thanks, bro.
Like 100%. That's where I would have gone to play for him. Hey, Martin, how you doing, brother? How you doing? And thanks, Adam. I appreciate that. 100. So, but here's the thing: is it was the time to transition, and in transition to a coach who his style is who he is. He doesn't try to be anything different. He doesn't play these. He doesn't do what Brian Kelly does and have an accent at an interview. He just is him. You know what I'm saying? And I love that, man. I am the biggest DeBoer fan because of who he is as a person. And you brought up Coach, left hand. I got it, everybody. The finger. There we go. But Coach, you brought up the great point with Courtney Morgan. Well, Courtney Morgan talks about how hard it was to leave Michigan, but the reason he leaves is because of Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
And who he is and who he is as a person.
That's a fact. I'll say this, Adam. A lot of these kids are entitled. I will give you some on that, but I'll say this, guy, Adam. It's a culture thing. It's the whole damn society. It ain't
man.
just the kids. Okay, so let me ask you something, Adam. If the kids are entitled, tell me, what do you call a coach who got the Oregon job, stayed for 10 seconds, the Florida State job come open, then he left because it was more money and it was a job he wanted more? Is that coach entitled? What about Manny Diaz, a coach that went to Temple, hired me, sat on kids' couch, recruited, Miami called. Well, gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Is he entitled? Right? Why is it that we get on these players, but we never say nothing to the grown-ups in the room? Why is it that we hold the kids to a standard that we don't even hold each other to, the grown folks? I got to disagree with you a little bit. I can't call them snowflakes because it's the society we live in. We give them recruiting shows. We rate them as these 5 stars. We build them up only to tear them down. I can't agree with you on that, Adam. I respect where you're coming from because they are entitled, but we are the reason they're entitled. We are the grown-ups in the room, right?
That's right, man.
So
that's right.
You know, it is what it is. If we're gonna spank their hand, I mean, Adam, Miro, you're a West Coast guy. USC is in the Big Ten. Guess why? That old entitled money. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's the truth, man.
Did you ever see a day when USC, the staple linchpin of the West Coast, is now going to be playing Michigan, Maryland, Ohio State, and Rutgers in New damn Jersey? Right?
No. Like that. That's what I mean. Literally, that's the entitlement's what killed the Pac-12.
Boom. So
sad, dude.
What did you think the kids were going to do? You know what I'm saying? So
they're going to do what we do.
Facts.
That's right. Lead by example, baby. And that's, and to say that right there, that is why the standard at Alabama, though, stays the standard. Go listen to Jalen Milroe's interview. Go listen to Tyler Booker's interviews. These guys, the legacy aspect is, it's not, do I want to leave a legacy when I play for Alabama? It's, I have to leave a legacy when I play for Alabama.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ebony, Sabanized, baby. Yeah. Well, y'all about to be DeBoerized too.
Facts.
All right? Because that's going to happen. Like, Kalen's a winner. Winners win. And he has what he needs around him and established around him. Just watch. You're going to see coaches go because they're going to get grabbed for head coaching jobs. I don't know how long we're going to have Kane Womack. Okay. And Jimmy, I see you've asked this question a few times. Jimmy just keeps asking this question. I want to get to your question, Jimmy. But you see what DeBoer's already done, who he's already brought in. If you think Hitchler's going to stay as a safeties coach, just watch in time. He's going to be a D coordinator. You think that Mo Linguist is going to stay as a quarterback's coach? No, he's going to be a D coordinator, head coach. You think Gillespie is going to stay as a running backs coach? There's a reason why he's promoting them. There's a reason these guys are staying in place. They see what trajectory happened.
Ohio State wanted him. Yeah.
100, man. 100. And so, Jimmy, let's get to your question. Coach, you can hit this one.
Jimmy, JLB says, is the offensive scheme going to miss a beat without Ryan Grubb? I believe in Sheridan. Just curious. I don't think we're going to miss a beat. Listen, if you watch now, Patriot Life is the only one that'll be able to speak to this. Patriot Life, if you still in the chat, chime in on this if you will. Me and Patriot Life sat together. If you know offense like I know offense, you know what's coming. Listen, man, everybody was talking about how bad it wasn't that the defense looked bad. It's just the offense looked good. Listen to me, guys.
Dude.
What these guys are doing on offense is going to exemplify Jalen Milroe's real talent, right? You're not asking him to stand in the pocket for 5 and 7 step drops and go from 1 to 2 to 2 to 3. No. They're going to extenuate what this guy does well and play off of that. Coach DeBoer is an offensive genius, man. This guy knows how to score. This guy picks on safeties. This guy will run high lows at you. This guy will make your dude. Listen, I broke this down on my channel. I'm gonna give you the quick version right now. I knew this dude was not to be played with when I seen these guys prejudge their post and post corners. Like, they'll run a post to the safety. run, take your angle to the post. You know, if the safety closes distance, you turn the thing into a post corner. Plant that foot in the ground 3 steps, you at the back pylon at the corner. Bro, listen, they'll do that as long as you line up in single safety high. So we hadn't had an offensive coach to really extenuate off of what the defense gives you since Sark and Lane. We have dudes who call scripted plays. That's it, right? This guy is going to attack you, man, right? Everybody talking about Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe was 3 of 9 for 100 yards. Don't look at the 3 of, look at the yard. 100 yards on 3 passes, man, right? So to answer your question, Jimmy, this scheme with or without Ryan is going to be dynamic. He's going to extenuate all of our receivers. We have running backs to where if you dare try to bring every down, try to, you know, scoot your safeties back to stop the pass, Jam and Justice are going to have a field day. You got to pick 100. Your poison, man, right? And I do believe Ryan Williams is going to come in and put pressure on these guys to play because Ryan attacks the top of the route like any receiver I've seen, right? So I do think this offensive scheme fits and we'll be just fine. What you think, Mayor?
Oh, 100%. All you got to do is go watch the way they utilize each guy at Washington. And what's interesting at Washington is they didn't necessarily have the run game to back up their receiving game. You know, Dylan Johnson, who was a stud for being injured this last season, was really all they had at the run game aspect to get them. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't, the kid who just got in trouble, Tybo Rogers. He was kind of I didn't want him playing, to be honest with you. I hated watching Tybo play. I would rather have that Will Nixon kid from Nebraska. You know what I'm saying? So the only kid who was really making a difference at that time frame was Dylan Johnson at maybe 60 to 70%. So their run game was not really there. But now you have this monster. You have the 3-headed monster at running back, right? With Jam, with Haynes, and of course with Young.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like that people just, I don't think are gonna. It's gonna be like really. It's gonna be really hard to scheme against that because you have different running styles in there. But at the same time, now you're having to scheme against a run game that could destroy you, and if it does, it will eat up clock, and you'll be screwed. Okay. Or you're going to have to play against this pass game that spreads you out both vertically and horizontally and creates gaps for one-on-one matchups that allow these guys to make plays. It doesn't matter who you put out there, right? And not to mention, you want to talk about matchup nightmares. You look at and you guys forgive me on this one, the young man, the tight end who switched to wide receiver, Odom.
Caleb Odom,
That's right. You want to talk about a matchup nightmare. Now, let's just say we get into a red zone, which we will get into the red zone a lot. It is scary to think about the aspect of a matchup nightmare when you are having to play one-on-one versus him, or you're going to have to tell your safety to sit over the top as your corner matches up on the inside hip and try to play it so he doesn't body him out, like a rebound in basketball. You're going to have to double team him. So now you do. I saw a comment already in here about Kobe Prentice. Kobe Prentice is going to have an all-star season.
That's a fact.
He's going to have a rock star season. Now let's talk about even like Bubba Hampton. Okay.
Let's
talk about these dudes who maybe we're not thinking about that we're like, whoa,
exactly. Cole Adams.
Scary, man.
Cole Adams.
That's right.
Listen,
you're going to see guys we don't necessarily hear about in the past because they're going to utilize that speed.
All facts, Mario. That's exactly what I couldn't have said it better. These guys fit what this guy want to do. I can remember last year, 3rd and 8, right? Against Georgia. We running the high-low against 2 safety high. Jalen sitting there waiting for the route to break over and get sacked for 10 yards in the backfield. Like, none of that. No more of that. These guys are going to extenuate, mesh routes coming across the formation. They'll roll him out. They'll make design plays for Jalen to run to where you have to spy him. If you commit resources, thank you. If you commit resources, thank you. Adam Lamparillo was the main one who said, Coach Sean, I watched the film. They did run pre-snap motion against Michigan. What I told Adam was that was pre-snap motion to see what you're going to do. That wasn't pre-snap motion to actually run a play off of.
No.
Foundational play calling is different than just throwing a play call out there to try to fool somebody. A good defense and a veteran defense is not going to fall for the window dressing. That's all it was, window dressing. We went
100%.
Auburn on them, right? We never threw it in the flats. We never even tried to. That was just to see, Michigan never fell for it. Michigan never fell for it, bro. It didn't work. This one, with these guys, they run pre-snap motion for a reason. Trust me, man. Every play.
It's almost, you almost have to sit there and be like, okay, let's just say our defense does not play up to standard. Or let's say our defense has hiccups here and there because of youth at cornerback, which is, it's kind of odd when a lot of guys talk about the defense and they're like, well, Bama, their defense is what worries me. Well, time out. You realize your only youth is at cornerback. And because of the way the zone drop read works, they get to utilize their speed and talent. And over fall ball, that's where you really get to dig in and hone in on your skill and recognizing these correct angles, these correct touch, like drops, like your depth and drop. And also like maybe, okay, when do I need to make this move here? When do I flip my hips, right? Just these simple little things. Those are going to make a world of difference. But what's funny is there's actually a lot of strength in that defense. You look at the defensive line and what they're about to do. You look at the linebacker group. Shit, just look at our safeties. I mean, those safeties are studs. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not worried. If anything, I am more excited to watch the defense than I am worried about if it's going to fail, and especially with Kane Womack. Kane Womack doesn't fail at defense. I'll promise you that. But then we switch back to the offensive side. You're going to have to score a certain amount of points, and it's going to have to probably be within the high 30s. I'll take that back. I think you're probably going to have to score at least 40 points a game to beat Alabama just from a point standpoint. Yeah. Like offense. And I just don't see a lot of teams being able to do that, especially you look at Womack and what he averaged out over every season he's been a D coordinator, even as a head coach.
It's a fact.
It's not going to happen, man. That's why I feel pretty confident, maybe a few games here and there, but for the most part, I just do not see a position where Bama, we're like, okay, Bama's going to lose, that's not, and now they got the kicking game fixed with who they brought in from a standpoint of the Grozo Award winner.
Yeah, that kid is even more scary. You get rid of Will Reichert to the NFL. You lose him, and you bring in the kid that was almost just as good as Will, if not better, right? So it's crazy, man. We're blessed to have it. I'll say this, the offensive scheme and the defensive scheme being what it is. We played a lot of nickel last year. I know he's doing that vision coverage, and that'll take some time for the kids to really get used to. We done so much matching in the past.
I know, man. That match coverage is hard. It's hard, be honest, bro. It does get you ready for the NFL because that's a lot of thinking. Way the NFL likes to play. It's a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
It is tough. I mean, that's what we ran. So I would have loved to play a vision coverage. Oh my God.
A lot of opportunities for some takeovers in that.
Woo, man, dude. I would have been so excited. But that is something where, again, that's why I'm so confident in looking at this from a standpoint of saying I don't feel as worried about the defense as everyone. A lot of people feel concerned, and I get your concerns. I'm not downplaying them, and I get it. But man, I look at the athletes, I look at the players, and it excites me to sit there and watch. I am ready to watch these games. I am so ready to watch these games. Man, I wish the season was freaking already here. But no, not yet.
People were saying they were uncomfortable with how the offense was able to run the ball in the first half. And I would tell people it wasn't that the defense were playing bad. It's just Tyler Booker and Jaden Roberts was whipping Tim Smith and Jalen and Tim Keenan at first.
No, 100%.
You got to remember who we got in between those two guards, man. That might be the best guard tandem in college football, man. So just remember that before you get on the defense too bad, right? Remember that.
100. And honestly, you know, Sheridan's out there doing his play calling with DeBoer, and Sheridan's out there playing for keeps, man. He's the first. Well, I should say he gets another opportunity to be a coordinator, offensive coordinator. If you think Nick Sheridan is going to hold back any reins, hell no. Nick Sheridan does not want to sit there. He's like, dude, are you kidding me? I get another opportunity to step in as an offensive coordinator. This is Nick Sheridan's a smart dude, but for him to go, you know, he had really good success as DeBoer and with DeBoer, Indiana, and with Penix. Penix gets hurt. That success kind of drops off due to the fact of, you know, you're just not going to have the same level in depth, talent-wise. I should say depth, talent-wise. And then he kind of gets made the blame man, and gets, you know, from Indiana. It's kind of leaves there, right? He's kind of the guy. Oh, it's Sheridan's fault. Not the case. Instead, he kind of keeps himself real level-headed and goes over to talk about a humble move, takes over as a tight ends coach, jumps back under DeBoer, wants to learn the system, and now he gets an opportunity again. Believe me, I'll tell you right now, Nick Sheridan is going to bring the fire. He's dropping the bombs, dude. It's going to be fun to watch him call plays. I am excited to watch Sheridan more than I was excited to watch Grubb, because Grubb can be very conservative at times.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, offense was still amazing, but he hit some of his play calling. I just didn't necessarily. I'm like, why the hell would you do that? You know, like, come on, man. I know what you're trying to set up, but it's not working. And I know you're just trying to push and push and push. Like, let's be innovative, and that's where I think I'm gonna enjoy watching Sheridan.
Shout out to Jay Mims, Coach Sean, and Mary. What I missed, we just briefly talking about the offense. Jay Mims, we talked about the 11 o'clock games and the 6 o'clock game against Western Kentucky, and the national championship in 2027 being in Vegas, 26 being in Miami, and next year being in the ATL. I want to transition, if I could, really quickly to Domani Jackson.
Please.
I don't know if you guys did you see the interview, Miro?
You know, that's the one. It's funny you bring that up. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I've heard a lot about it though, so
check it out, man. The first few minutes I had to fast forward because I didn't care nothing about listening to whatever school that was he went to, but I had already knew the backstory. Kid got hurt, you know, went to USC. You know, grew up a USC fan, so we understood.
Yep.
The USC fans were chiming in on this when he said this. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, but this is what he said. He said, listen, man, coming from USC, I came here and saw the damn spring game. He was like, it just looked like a bunch of ants up there. He's like, he had never seen them like that, not even in their game. He was like, to see the fan love for a spring game. He said he was excited. He couldn't believe it. The fans were going crazy. Oh, the USC fans got mad, boy. They got mad at him. They was chiming in. We're not going to go watch a glorified scrimmage. I said this a long time ago. I said, when you're in a city like Los Angeles, Miami, Houston, Dallas, a lot of things to do when your football teams suck. A lot of things to do,
man.
Right?
Lots to do.
Lots to do. They used him in a very weird scheme. Every time I watched him, he was press bailing every time.
Yeah, man.
Off man. I don't know what the hell they were doing with him, Jake. I don't know how they were using him. Domani Jackson, if you watch him in the A-Day game, man, listen, Domani is going to be a problem because he's healthy now. The kid understands the scheme. And Domani going to have a great season, man. We are lucky to have him. And I cannot wait. If you guys get an opportunity, go watch that interview he did. If you type in Domani Jackson interview, it'll be the first one to pop up. You can't miss it. He got an Alabama shirt on. He talked about the excitement here was nothing like he had ever seen. He said that he was talking about, you know, so those Mater Day kids are well coached, man. They're well coached. They, you know, they don't get their feathers ruffled very easily. So to hear this kid talk about how he was overwhelmed by the people at A-Day that tell you the excitement here in the South, that tell you football is king here when it comes to sports. And I think Domani's gonna have a great season. What you got on that, Miro?
Oh, 100%. And you know what the funny part to you, like with Domani, it's, you know, they gave him so much shit.
Yeah.
Like the dude's a true freshman.
Facts.
And he gets put in a defense that can't pressure anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how hard it is for a cornerback to maintain a coverage when you have like the worst pressure up front? It doesn't work. Trust me.
It does not.
When someone's running forward and you're moving backwards, that's unnatural.
Yes.
It's just a base understanding of human biology, you know, or physics or mechanics, right? But the facts are, is I do think Domani's set. I think, again, this entire team has a fire lit around them, and that's what's beautiful about bringing in who they've brought in. I love, but that's Deshaun Jones.
Yeah.
Do you guys, I'm telling you, for all the haters who didn't like him because he came from Wake Forest, I'll tell you what, that dude is a player, man.
Yeah,
he's a baller. And he's aggressive as hell. Yeah. Like, you put him out there with other guys with a talent level that Bama has. Now this dude gets to free range, play this vision coverage.
Yeah.
And the same with Domani, because this is where Domani will thrive. He gets to use Domani athleticism, which is freaky. It's freaky to go play his game. I feel so, man, I am so damn confident about this defense, and that's what I'm excited for Domani, is to go out and really show it. And it's funny what happens when he goes off in the SEC and then he didn't go off in the Pac-12. Well, people be like, well, the Pac-12 was so good. Well, hold time out. Y'all talk shit about the Pac-12 all the time. So I don't want to fucking hear that. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm excited. I was a Pac-12 player, Pac-10 player, right? You know what I mean? Like, y'all talk shit about the Pac-10 that they don't play defense. There's no good athletes. Get the hell out of here with that, man. Like, this he goes off in the SEC. Well, now that talk is over, right? Yeah. And so I'm excited. I'm excited for these guys. I do think I saw a comment, NFC boys, way up here. He said, here, I'll get it for you, Coach Sean. He said, do you just think Bama may come out slow as the kids get used to the new offense and defensive schemes? No, I don't. Yeah. And the reason is from a defensive standpoint, you're going from a defense that was a little more complex with the way Saban ran defense, yet similarities. Okay, there are similarities. Granted, that is why Womack and Saban were meeting and talking about these philosophies, jiving it, meshing it all together, right?
Yep.
You know, sometimes like when you have a plate of food and it's all separated, like if you guys all go to IHOP, right? I'm the type of guy where I'll take my eggs and I'll take my hash browns and a little bit of ketchup and I'll mix them all together, man. Mix it, and you know what? It tastes real damn good. Maybe get some bacon in there too. So when you mix it all together, it's way better than separating it, right? Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say with that, is that's the same thing we're going to see with this defense. And on top of that, this defensive concept is actually easier to pick up. So I think that you won't have as much of a hurdle as maybe what people saw in A-Day. Again, A-Day is an interesting one. You got a lot of guys out there. They're pumped up. They're ready. It's spring ball, though. I can't explain to you guys enough, man, right? Now, spring ball and fall ball in the season, way different. Way different. So, you know, ketchup, but you guys are laughing. You guys are making me laugh with the ketchup comments, man. But I do feel good, man. I do feel good about the defense. On the offensive side, I feel like you do have a lot of guys coming back. You have some senior leadership. You have some, you know, you got like I told you, you got the right pieces. You know what's kind of cool about the offensive side? Is that each position group has a player besides running back. Yep. Each position group has a player from Washington that just played in that system. What that does for the offensive guys in each position room, all it does is make the understanding the concepts way easier, way faster and smoother. Also, what it does is bring team unity. And on top of that, DeBoer is really good at making his teams mesh. Okay. Yeah. So I'll tell you right now, he will do a phenomenal job These guys will all be prepared. And yeah, maybe game one, right? You're going to have errors. Errors happen. We're all human. Okay, so I'm not going to say we're going to go out and be perfect, but I do see us by game 4. I love playing Georgia on game 4 because game 4 is typically that game where shit really starts to come together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, truthfully, it's game 3, but I would say game 4 for a new system, that's when you start, especially when you got like the people in there you got, what I just mentioned, that's when stuff comes together. So, that's my take on it. But
all facts, man. Run the Table Sports TV, the homie Bear says, bro, give me your thoughts on the kid Dijon Lee, 6'4", 185, cornerback. He's a dog. He visits us last year. I watched him, man. That kid was very, very, very good. Impressed. He's not an off guy. He get a little lost in the sauce and off. That just tell you that whatever team he plays for, play a lot of man. That kid was probably the best man corner I've seen in high school this year. Great athlete. Yeah, that kid, that kid could actually play a lot of different positions. You want the truth? That kid, I hope Bama get him. Just trust and believe, because he is a dog. You better believe that. He's a very, very talented young man, a ball hawk, not scared to hit you. Very smart, direct traffic. That if he directs traffic, to tell you the coaches trust him. You know what I mean? So he, in my mind, Merrill, he's great. What you think about that?
Oh, for sure, man. I think that I've been preaching this since I've been on this channel. I know I've had a little break. Apologize, guys. Had some stuff to work out, but now that I'm back, I'll preach it some more. I love Dijon Lee. To me, I think he is I would say, if not the 1 or 2 top 2 corners in the nation for this upcoming season, for the 2025 class. I love the fact that he in Run Table Sports TV, my dog, you brought up a great point. He picked us last for a visit. You know who else picked us last for a visit? Derek Meadows, the baller, huge wide receiver.
Yeah.
That dude, I want that dude. Derek Meadows he is a scary good wide receiver, man. But going back to Dijon Lee, I think it's awesome. I love having the last visit. It's where you make a great impact, and that's if you can sit there and let it roll through your mind as a recruit, where you last went, and what they have to say, it kind of sits with you, and it feels good going into the process. And at the same time, I will tell you this: I think right now with the recruiting field, there's a lot of guys who just want to see how the season goes too.
Yeah,
I think that's going to play a huge factor, because guys aren't questioning Bama, but they are saying, man, oh yeah, Buck, all right, what's up, Buck?
What's up, Buck?
But I think a lot of guys still want to see the performance, and I think it's going to be this is where I think that you're going to see the recruiting just blow up when they get to watch Alabama doing wild things like putting up numbers on offense, and this defense coming to town, right? Because they're going to bring it. I saw a comment earlier too, man, about LT Overton, right? And I love the fact that he's going into that bandit position, because with LT Overton, someone's question everything. What's up, man? You said his dad was an NFL player, and A&M had him standing up. 100, man. I think LT is going to go off. That bandit position's like made for him, and it sounds like he was having a really good spring too. So, and like I said, it's just reps, especially as we get into fall ball. That's where it's going to be exciting. You know what I'm saying? And man, we could just hit everything. Your boy Buck said something about the tight ends. Coach, what's your thinking?
Let me see, Buck. What you said about the tight end? My bad.
He said he was excited about the tight ends.
Let me grab right here, Buck. Buck says, "What it do? I'm excited about the tight ends. How they'll be used next year. Yeah, the tight ends, a lot of meshes. He does things to get those guys open, man. What I like about him is he'll run counter one way to make the linebackers leave their positions and leave the backside flat open. Linebackers got to go with if the offensive line block down and the running backs go for the run fake that way, as a linebacker, you have to react to that, right? Yeah,
you do. Yeah,
you have to react. Special ones can get back in phase and still make the play. Well, they'll run one way and run the tight end They'll have him act like he gonna chip block and release him across the backside flats wide open. I must have seen that play 15 times. So they'll definitely get the tight ends involved, Jake.
It's funny you bring that up. You know what the system somewhat reminds me of for the tight ends? It reminds me very much of, granted, different formations just because of the way they're setting themselves up in the pre-snap movement, right? But it reminds me of their releases in their routes, in their positioning is very much like New England Patriots in the way they utilize their tight ends.
A lot of stuff across the formation. Facts. All facts, man. I like that take. That was great, man. See, Jake dropping jewels on y'all. He dropping jewels on y'all, man.
Man, well, if you go back, like, it's funny because I was watching some highlights from New England and watching Gronkowski, and I started looking at the route trees that he was running, right? And then I'm saying, man, they really set him up to put him, again, very much like this offense, one-on-one and in space.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you see with these tight ends is they position them in places where you don't always expect because you're so focused on the vertical horizontal stretch.
Yep.
Right. So that's what I'm excited for from the tight end standpoint. I think you're going to see these tight ends really have some success and a lot of fun too, man. Like I think it's going to be fun to watch them for sure.
Last topic, guys, really quickly. I want to go into this before we get up out of here. I don't know if you guys saw I won't go over all of them, but I wanted to talk about this really, really quickly. They ranked the top 25 coaches, and I'll just give you the top 10, the final 10. They have Lincoln Riley at 10. They have Dan Lanning at 9, Oregon. Lincoln Riley at USC. They have Mike Norvell at Florida State at number 8. They have Kalen DeBoer at Bama, here at Bama at number 7. They have Kyle Whittingham, number 6 at Utah. They have Sark, Texas at 5. Brian Kelly, LSU at 4. Dabo at 3, Clemson. Ryan Day at 2, and Kirby at 1. Now, here's my first beef with that. What the hell has Ryan Day done that Kalen DeBoer or Sark hadn't done? Go to okay, you want to say he went to a national championship? Okay, Sark hadn't went to a national championship. Kalen DeBoer has, right? Ryan Day went, we destroyed him. What has Ryan Day done that Kalen DeBoer hadn't? That Brian Kelly hadn't? Brian Kelly's done a national championship. 2 of them, right? No, 1 of them. So why is he at 2? Ryan Day, you got Ryan Day over. I think Kyle Whittingham is a better coach than Ryan Day. He's done more with less, right? He's done just as much with less. Now, he hadn't been to a national championship game, right? Ryan Day at 2? I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that, right? He's got Sark at 5, Kyle Whittingham at 6, and Kalen DeBoer at 7. So you got Kalen DeBoer at 7 and Ryan Day at 2. What has Ryan Day done that Kalen DeBoer hadn't? They both been to a national championship game and lost. They both put players in the NFL. I would dare say Ryan Day has done less with more.
100%.
You got hella players at Ohio State. Hella players, right?
Yeah.
Give Kalen DeBoer that roster.
Oh, well, yeah. Thank God.
He's lost to Michigan 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
So I don't know, bro, about this list. This list is a little fugazi to me. I don't know who the hell made it up. I don't have no problem with Kirby being at 1 because the man has won back-to-back championships. The man has only lost a game in 30 games, bro. So 2 games, whatever it is, 1 game, 2 games. The man has only lost to Bama, in 3 years. So I mean, you can't argue with that, But
go ahead, Coach.
That's crazy.
What were you saying?
Got Dabo over. Okay, he won 2 championships. Okay, I get it. But his team has been 9-3, 8-4, whatever the hell it was the last 2 seasons. So I don't know, bro. This kind of fugazi to me to have DeBoer at 7. Mike. I don't know, guys. Thoughts?
Man, I think that's an interesting list, right? Because even if you were to look at longevity of like
Right.
over, besides just like this short couple of years, or even this year based off of last 2 years, you look at longevity, there's no way I would have Ryan Day. And I would have maybe Ryan Day at 5 or 6. Maybe.
Facts.
Right? Okay.
You see this coming right here? Let him have a bad season this year. Everything said it. You see this coming right here?
Yeah,
let Wisconsin have a decent season and let Ryan Day have a bad one. He'll
like
be going
straight
back.
up though. I mean, that's it. Ryan Day, nobody wants to say it, but Ryan Day's on a hot seat. He has to win because
with what they spent, Jake. Yeah, let him have a bad season.
100%. Like that's why I would not put Ryan Day in. I don't think I would probably put him in the top 5.
Top 2?
That's crazy to me, man.
Yeah,
but I would. It's hard because if I look at longevity and what they've done from national championship, whether it's appearances, let's take out necessarily talented teams. Like don't grade them based on talent, right? On what their team's talent. Because I feel like Ryan Day's grade is based on the talent he has right now. That's not how you grade a coach. It's not based on what they have in their roster. It's how they coach, right? And so Kirby Smart, I do agree with, right? Number 1, 100%. I would put Whittingham probably I do too. I'd stick him probably at number 4 right now.
Yeah, me too. About 4. Yeah.
Yeah, before feels good. I do feel like Dabo, because of what he's already done and what he was able to do at Clemson, I have to give him credit for the success he's had. And that's where I put Dabo at 2, just from a longevity standpoint, what he's done. And if he is able to pull it out this year,
winning season,
then it makes sense.
If we're going to give Kirby credit for 2 national championships, like we got to give Dabo credit for 2 national championships.
100%.
Even though you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Damn, bro. You got,
and that's kind of wild. And then Sark at 3.
Yeah, Sark at 5. They got him at 5.
Sark was at 5? Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, that's right. It's Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly's an interesting one.
Brian Kelly's an interesting one.
Do I stick Brian Kelly at 3? You have to, I guess, because again, if we talk about longevity, what he did at Notre Dame, even what he did beforehand was Cincinnati. I can respect that for now. Now, this is where it gets the complicated part, because when we start going down this line, if we look at 4, 5, and 6, again, this is even hard to I feel better about DeBoer being, what was it, DeBoer? DeBoer was at 7, right? So I would actually move DeBoer to 5. And the only reason I say that I wouldn't move him higher is because it's just, he needs to just have another season, right, of success. Once he has that, he jumps that list way high. He jumps ahead of Whittingham then, right? But then you do look at what Whittingham did at Utah. Utah is difficult to win at. It's difficult to recruit to.
Yes.
So you got to give Kyle Whittingham a lot of credit. That's where I stick him at 4. DeBoer at 5. I actually put Sark at 6, and then I put Ryan Day at 7.
At 7, yeah, okay, I got you. Me personally,
and then I'd stick the last 2 the same.
Mike Norvell at 8 is a little high for me. I know he had a great season last year at Florida State, but what has he done outside of that last year?
No, I mean that's true, man. That's a true fact. You know, that's why I don't even think about Norvell right now. You know what I'm saying?
Kiffin at like 14. Hell, let's be real. You got Lincoln Riley at number 10.
How? I don't even think he's in the top 10 right now.
He got good offenses. He ain't done nothing. Like, what has this guy done?
Yeah, man.
I mean, I don't know what this guy's done. I mean, he's number 10 behind Dan Lanning at 9. Mm-hmm. Lincoln Riley got to show me something this year. You got all those great recruits. You got a ton of money at USC. You got to show me something in the Big Ten. You got to show me something in the Big Ten.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think USC is going to be nearly as good as what everyone thinks. You have to replace a quarterback that was literally everything for you. Yes. Everything for you. There's no dude coming in to replace Caleb Williams, that's Caleb Williams. Okay. Like Caleb Williams was a baller. He made your offense click.
Everything.
Like, and you have so much youth. I don't think USC is nearly going to be as good as what everyone thinks, man. There's just too much. There's too much youth. There's too much movement. There's too much, like, the coaching changes below Lincoln Riley. Yeah, you're going to have good coaches, but I think they could be good again, but I would give them at least 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
And now, LA kid, now I understand Washington get cold, or I don't know about Oregon. Does Oregon get cold?
Yeah, Oregon gets cold.
So they got to go now to Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, 2,000 miles away. It's crazy, man. Cold. Snow.
It's a different style of cold.
Well,
like the temperature cuts through your clothes, man. Like you can't get warm.
Yeah, and I'll say this too, man. Everybody that's an Ohio State fan, or if you get your some time on your computer, look at Ohio State's schedule. The only competition they play this year is Oregon on the road and Michigan. That's it. I mean, that's it for me. And then
they could lose those 2 games.
Yeah, and then turn around and go look at Florida's schedule.
Dude,
Florida has the toughest schedule I've ever saw on any college team, man.
That's why I said what I said on Ty's when we were doing Around the Table on Ty's Ty show. Is they were talking about the teams that we were all discussing, like who could be a team that potentially, could make a wave in the SEC this year if you think about teams outside the box, right, than what we typically see. And I'm going to tell you, man, if Florida can win with that schedule, that's when you have to start being like, okay, maybe you're starting to do something there, because that is
impressive.
That schedule is brutal. I saw an article where they said how many 5-stars are on their roster, and I think it was like 3.
Man,
that's that. So this is going to be all coaching, right?
Yeah,
what I'm saying? All coaching.
Their first part of their schedule is tough, but that back end is almost unfair, man. These guys they open up. Florida opens up with Miami, right?
Yeah.
We all know Miami's, is Miami, but they'll play Florida as tough as they'll play anybody, because that's Florida is an in-state rival. Then they got a little break with Samford, and then they hop right into it. They hop right into Texas A&M, which they could lose that game.
Like Elko, I think that's a team that we got to pay attention to too, is Texas A&M, man, because Elko is not like some BS coach. He did a great job at Duke. Great job at Duke.
Yep. They got Texas A&M at home in Florida. They got Mississippi State on the road, the Cowbells. Mm-hmm. You can't take them lightly. You'll look up and be in a fight in the fourth quarter. Then check this out, Jake. They got UCF at home. Now listen, if they go into UCF bull janking, I'm telling you, Gus will beat them.
Dude, UCF had a hell of a transfer portal win. They won big time.
Yes.
So I think UCF is a team nobody should overlook at all.
Then they got Tennessee on the road right after that.
Okay.
They got Kentucky at home after that, and now listen to this schedule from here on out. Those games I just gave you, they could easily lose 2 of those games. Listen to the schedule now. They got the Georgia game in Jacksonville, probably a losable game.
Which I hate that they play in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
it's so dumb. That's not, dude. They go play in the Swamp and then go play at Georgia Stadium. Stop playing this stupid game in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
I don't know why they do that, man.
Wasting a lot of money, bro. They could have just had that home and home. After the Georgia game, Merrill, right after that, they got to go to Texas. Right?
Oh, dude.
Right after Texas. That's Georgia, Texas. One of them on the road. Right after Texas on the road, they got LSU at home. Right after LSU at home, they got Ole Miss at home. Right after Ole Miss at home, they got Florida State on the road. So they go Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, and Florida State. Back to back to back to back. And that's on top of the UCF and Miami and Texas A&M.
Dude.
Bro. Yeah.
Whoa, man.
Yeah.
Talk about I'm going to tell you what, if anybody pops out of the portal for Florida after this season, you might want to grab them because they're going to be well experienced players.
Well experienced, brother. Well experienced. That's horrible.
Yeah, who the hell made that schedule, dude?
I know.
Man,
I know.
that's messed up, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And then go look at Ohio State's. Somebody somewhere did Billy Napier no favors, brother. No favors.
Oh, man. No, it's a bummer because I like Napier, man.
I'm gonna wind down, Merrill, man.
I got you. I got you.
Shout out to the undefeated, man. Let us both say you guys were awesome tonight. You guys always treat us well, man. It was such a pleasure to have my brother Merrill back. I hope he put us on again together tomorrow,
for sure.
man.
For sure.
Love having my brother Merrill back. Shout out to the undefeated. Shout out to all the coaches, man. Shout out to Ty Hayes, man.
Yeah,
shout out to the brother Ty Hayes. Shout out to Nino. You know what I mean? Shout out to Hayes Fawcett. Shout out to my brother Coach Jay. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody everywhere, man. All the coaches who helped this channel out and do what it do, and all the coaches, you know what I mean, who always talk great football, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Much love to y'all, the AAA people. Much love to y'all. You know what I mean? Got to give y'all credit and give you love everywhere, man. Thank you for tapping in with us. We appreciate you. Coach Merrill, where can everybody find you, and how's it going? You know, how can everybody get back in touch with you?
Yeah, 100%. Now I'll get a Twitter up here, like I said, next few days, and we'll put that out on the show so you guys will be able to contact me there. For the meantime, man, I'll throw you guys all my email if you guys want to contact me. Like I said, always open for opportunities.
Everybody tap in, listen to this,
man. But if you want to email me, you can hit me up, and I'll try to get to you guys' emails. You got questions and stuff, and just say what's up, man. But it's Coach_Merrill, MERRILL at outlook.com. Again, Coach_Merrill at outlook.com. Hit me up. You got questions, like I said, anything, man. Like I'm always down, always good to chat, and I'll get a Twitter up here so you guys can contact me that way too. And you know, and again, it's just so nice to be back. It's cool being with you guys. You know, this doesn't happen without all of you in the undefeated in the chat. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate the questions. We appreciate you guys jumping in. Make sure you run the thumbs up for us because we want to keep coming back on together. I think this might be something you'll start seeing with me and Coach Sean. And then again, catch me in the morning with Ty Hayes. I think it's 9:30, 10 Central Time, a.m. 9:30, 10 a.m. Central Time. And me and Ty are always spitting too. So I'll catch you guys again in the morning and probably again tomorrow evening with you, Coach Sean. So
hope so, man. Hope so.
We'll just keep spitting. We always have a good time, and so love being back and love being with my dog. My dog
already.
That one.
It gummit. Hold up.
It's the left hand. Left hand.
There you go, man. Everybody, you can find me at JMHO Sports Talk on Twitter and on YouTube. Just started YouTube channel. It's doing really, really well. Video just came out Friday. It's already got over 1,000 views. You know what I mean? It's doing really, really well. People tapping in, man. I appreciate you guys. Thursday, Merrill, I'm gonna text you, man. See what time you free.
Do it.
I'll get off about 3:30. If it ain't Thursday, I'm off all day on Friday. So it might be Friday. I might wait till Friday to put the video out. If you got a topic about anything, man, let me know and we'll do the video. Keep it about 15 minutes. Yeah, man, and we'll put the video up, man. And, when Merrill make his Twitter page, we'll repost it to get everybody right back on that thing, man. We'll get it out everywhere, and everybody will be on like magnets on that thing, man. And just holler at us, man. JMHO, just my humble opinion on both platforms. And we appreciate y'all, man. You know, much love to the undefeated, much love to Kyle, much love to T, much love to everybody who had a success in this, and we thank you guys royally.
100.
I'm gonna introduce y'all to my friend, the spinning wheel of doom. Roll Tide, everyone.